G'day adventurers, I'm Darren from Adventure Primal, bringing you another video to help improve your holiday adventures.
This is the final video of a three-part series on my favourite island, Moreton Island. In this video we'll focus on the southern end of the island. Now the south has its things to see, but I think it's more about the drive. So let's get going and I'll show you what I mean. Occasional pirate ship down here. On this day we chose to head to the southern end by going down the western beach to Koonjahla and then returning home via the eastern beach. An important thing to note is that the southern end is usually only doable on the bottom half of the tide, and the western beach road especially so. Depending on beach conditions, the eastern beach provides a bigger window for travelling. With a low at 11 AM, we began our journey from Bulwer at about 8 AM. We then headed to the middle road to take the Koonjahla bypass track to get down onto the western beach. As you can see, even in the lower half of the tide, there are places where there isn't much room to drive. But the good thing about this way is that there aren't too many others going this way. The first point of interest heading this way is the wreck at Shark Spit. There isn't much left of them, but they're still worth a quick look if you're interested. Then after the wrecks, the track gets a little tight again, but it's still an easy drive. At low tide, these sand flats go out for a long way, as you'll soon see. Our first stop is a leisurely climb up the big sandhills to have a look at the spectacular view. Right, big sandhills. It's quite a large sand dune, and we'll start walking up it. I know it's only halfway though. I've been up here once before. It's a massive climb. But let's do it. I don't know if it actually shows how steep it is. It's all, looks 45 degrees or even more. Let's climb it. Maybe you can tell side on. Continue when I get to the top. Well, okay. It's half.
Are you tired?
Yes. That's halfway. Well, not even halfway. That's mountain climbing. Still got a long way to go till we reach that tree. Let's get to the tree. Well, almost at the tree. It's not the easiest of climbs. It's doable. Remember to take it slow. Here's a bit of the view. halfway. How do I know I'm halfway? Well, if you look this way, there's another mountain to climb when you get to this first top. Looks like a desert. I'm not going that way. Don't have any energy left. There's our cars way down there. We continue our track south. This is where the mangroves become thick and come right up against the track. The track basically becomes one vehicle wide. We pass the little sandhills. It's nowhere as difficult to climb as the big sandhills, but it's worth having a look if you have the time.
We do know Corbin's thingy is very tasty. Meaty. Sharing your sister? By yourself.
This part of the track is usually relatively easy to drive, but on this occasion, as there hadn't been any good rain for a while, and it seen its fair share of traffic, it now become a little soft and corrugated. Tire pressures will need to be below 20 psi for these conditions.
Exactly. Sit up, kids.
Pretty soft here. At Tooliery, there's definitely a stop that you must take. Alright, so if you're travelling down to the western side or southern end of the island, down the western track, you can actually buy some fresh oysters. There's a little oyster farm down here, so make sure to stop in and buy some oysters. That's what it looks like. Moreton Bay oysters. Are they there? Open?
Sorry?
Open? Can you get some oysters? There you go. Nice selection of oysters. Sydney rock oysters. Takes 3 years to grow. There we go. Oh, it's already Kilpatrick as well. As it was a bit early for lunch, we decided to head to the southern point of Moreton called Reader's Point. Right, made it to the southern end of the island. Right on the south point of Moreton. As we look across to North Stradbroke Island out there. Tide's going out, it's almost low tide. Have a look along the water edge and see if there's anything interesting here. It's very windy today, very windy. Well, it's time for lunch, so we headed back to Koonjahla to do one of my musts when on the southern end of the island. And if you're on the southern end of the island, I recommend stopping in at this place, the Gutter Bar. I usually buy a nice seafood basket and have a few beers here. So let's go in and have a look. Oh.
Leave that here.
Fine, keep it with you, but if it goes off.
Gutter Bar. at a bar. Definitely worth coming here for a beer. Also a general store. After a good feed and quenching of the thirst, we headed east for our next stop, Mirapool Lagoon. Okay, another place to stop on the southern end of the island is Mirapool Lagoon. This is a lagoon that's been cut off from the ocean, so it's got a lot of fish and stingrays stuck in there. So worth having a look. Snorkel around if you want to snorkel. It's quite shallow on one side and very deep on another side, close to the ocean. So a quick short walk from the car park to the lagoon area. Interesting, last time we were here the lagoon was straight out of this track, so it's getting smaller. One day when the I guess when the next cyclone hits, the sand will break, or when it rains a lot it'll bust back out into the ocean. Where I'm walking right now used to be all water, so it's very much reduced. It's very much smaller than last time I was here. Yeah,
It's like a shovel.
shovel nose stuck in there. Well, that's it for the last part of this series of videos. I hope you liked them. Be sure to watch the other two if you've missed them. I'll leave you with some photos that I took whilst in the south. Thanks for watching.